have friends to play D&D. Perhaps you are friendless and lonely and don't have anybody to play D&D with after all. Or maybe you don't have the books, or the know-how, or the dice. Or maybe you're on the fence on how to play D&D. Regardless of your problem, we have the solution for you. It is the one-way trip, the one-player D&D experience, the Endless Quest, Cleric Edition. A beautiful piece of artwork with a lovely dwarven cleric on the front. Inside, you have a finely worded quest where you follow plot lines with lovely artwork from D&D and all those lovely artists in between. You have adventure, you have zombies, you have whatever this thing is. It's an amazing little story where you can die, relive your life, and become the new man of your god. All for $9 at your local game store, plus tax, of course. So, without further ado, let's talk about this beautiful work, and is it actually worth $9? Well, hopefully Salvador made the last couple minutes of me rambling in my 1920s voice actually look like the 1920s. Otherwise, I'm just gonna look like an idiot. Hello and welcome to The Natural One. My name is Michael, and as I said earlier today, we're going over The Endless Quest. This is a book series made by Witches of the Coast that came out about, I'd like to say about a few years ago. I meant to do this as one of the first reviews I did on this channel, but unfortunately, I kind of just threw it in the back corner and just never found it. Recently, I've given it another read, and I just wanted to see what it was all about and whether it was worth your guys' time. And it's quite interesting. As I said earlier, you get some beautiful artwork on the inside. I don't know why this is the first thing I always look for. If you're looking for artwork for your games, look no further. This has some incredible artwork, and I love the glossy pages on the inside. And honestly, there is some things that I think you could easily justify the costs of the game or book really for just by the artwork on the inside. It's only a few dollars, and I've seen splat books for much more that have much less. However, this is a book after all, and books have words. So what's exactly going on in this book? Well, I'm glad you asked. As it says on the front, into the jungles, where you are the cleric. You play a dwarven cleric on a quest from the Harper's Guild. An immortal being has gone missing, and that immortal being has the Ring of Eternal Winter. You have been sent to go and recover that ring! Why can I not say ring? You're keeping that in, Salvador, I swear. So, with this quest in mind, how do you start going on the adventure? Do you have dice? Of course not! You make choices! What did you think this was? Actual D&D? Of course not! This is, at its heart, a choose-your-own-adventure novel. As you read through the story, you get to points like this, where you go to page 1, 2, or 3, depending on what choice you make. And essentially, the entire book is written that way. You read a few paragraphs, get a choice, make the choice, and see where it goes. More often than not, it leads to death. But a couple of times, it'll lead to some interesting storylines, which in turn will also lead to death. That's really the core of the entire book, trying to find your way through each storyline. And there are several. I made a choice fairly early on in this book regarding whether or not I'd be taking the path to the Aarakocra or to a religious cult. And you get two very different adventures depending on what you choose, simply put. It's a lot of fun, and it feels like you're in a D&D campaign. But that's the word, feels. There's some problems with a choose-your-own-adventure book like this, where in D&D, if you make a bad choice, you might lose some hit points. In this book, if you make a bad choice, you die, which for a lot of people can be very aggravating. So if you are playing this book, I recommend that you at least keep a finger on your previous page like this, so that you can go through and go, oh, well, I'm dead. Okay, go back to the last choice and make the right choice. Especially when there's only two choices and you know one's success and one's failure. Or, you know, approaching the shack, which obviously has a hag in it. That's also a pretty bad call. But there are some things that are just pissing me off. Like, literally, I decided to join once a cult of people who worshipped Helm, if I recall correctly. They were fighting zombies. And they were willing to help me, but I first had to take their wounded back to town. Okay, I thought, simple job, it's a side quest. But no, I immediately got killed by a swamp monster instead. For really no reason. Other than, it's not where the plot of the book wanted to take me. And I get it, they have a story they gotta tell, but you get a lot of those things, and there's a couple of inconsistencies in the book. Where, for example, I get stabbed by a spear, and then I'm suddenly dying. I'm a cleric. Why can't I heal myself? I swear, throughout this entire book, I never once healed myself. And I get it, it's a book, but I'm trying to push that it can kind of be frustrating going to this after doing D&D for so long. And it can be rather frustrating. However, I will give the game credit, as many moments that seem a bit contrived, and as many moments that are just instant death, there are also a lot of endings. You can actually beat the book within the first 3 pages if you go off to the races and choose the right dinosaur to bet on. Simply put, you can beat the game any way you like, and I don't know quite how many endings there are in it, but there are at least 5. Some where you succeed in your quest, others where you go on your own side quest instead. And that's this book's main saving grace. It may have some odd moments, but it has replayability. I read through this book several different times, at least 5 times, to get each ending. And I'm still pretty sure there's more endings in there that I just haven't discovered. I kind of want to do it more. I want to figure out what else can happen to our little dwarven cleric. And for the low price of $8.99, that's not bad. You get a good adventure, and you get a lot of different endings to it. I know I got inspired for some adventures after reading this as a DM, and I'm hoping to implement it down the road at the D&D club at my local college. It's kind of a rough go, really. I like it, but at the same time, it's kind of odd. There's 122 pages total in this, and you get a good adventure. But part of me feels that you could also get a good adventure from other choose-your-own-adventure stuff. Things that are less restrictive, like the choose-your-own-adventure apps, such as Lost Heirs, or The Samurai, or literally anything from Choice of Games. I highly recommend those guys. I don't know. If you want something D&D themed, and you want some inspiration for some of your own adventures in D&D, I'd highly recommend it. If you're not really immediately excited about this, I think you can pass. I'd say this is a good 6 out of 10. It's not bad, and if anything, I think it's rather enjoyable. It just isn't for everybody. I've rambled on long enough. My name is Michael. I hope you enjoyed this little review of The Endless Quest. And perhaps you can like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel, and we can see what we can do about that. This was The Endless Quests, and maybe I'll do some more in the future. Maybe the fighter, or the bard, or the sorcerer or wizard will be a bit more interesting than our poor little dwarven cleric here. Thank you all for watching. I'll be seeing you in the next video. Have a nice day.